Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to isolate an angle to the race we might see as a path to finding the winner. Well, it's the big dance. It's the showpiece of Hong Kong racing. International Day on Sunday, 4 Group 1s, and of course you'll find all the information, the form, previews, tips, information, replays, track work, interviews, absolutely everything you need on the Jockey Club website to cover these 4 big Group 1 races. Now, I had intended to actually look into a couple of these Group 1s because they're very interesting propositions that we have with the 2 hometown champions. Firstly, Romantic Warrior. Now, as far as I'm concerned, if Romantic Warrior turns up at his best, they won't see which way he goes in the Hong Kong Cup. But he did win the Cox Plate in Melbourne, and I thought he was below his best there. He's now got to travel back quickly to Hong Kong and try and produce his best on home soil. So there's a few pressures going on there, and I thought to examine that proposition with past horses from Hong Kong who've been overseas, won big races and come back. Well, the difficulty with that, getting an actual profile, is that most horses from Hong Kong that have won overseas have then gone for a spell. Very few of them have actually continued racing after the big trip away. The 2 that I can find that are most significant were Aero Velocity, the sprinter who won in Japan, then went from Japan to win in Singapore, but he didn't come home. And the other one was Fairy King Prawn, which is 22 years ago, where he was just touched off in Dubai, in the Dubai duty free, returned home to Hong Kong and won a Group 1. So very difficult to get a real line on that. We have had horses like Vengeance of Rain, won in Dubai. He returned to Hong Kong and was beaten at his next 2 starts. So he's definitely in the minus column for Romantic Warrior. But all in all, I found it difficult to draw a conclusion. However, Golden 60, different kettle of fish. Now, he's attempting to win the Hong Kong Mile at his first run for 224 days. And I was able to pull together some statistics on horses which have attempted to win on International Day, both hometown horses and visitors, off a break of more than 100 days. So here are those statistics now. And famously, of course, only 1 horse has won at the Hong Kong International meeting off a break of 6 months or more, glorious days for John Size in the mile. But the South African sprinter, JJ the Jet Plane, was also 147 days between runs when he won in 2010. Now here you see the last 15 years of international races on this day at Sha Tin, and these are the only runners to attempt to win these races off 100 days or more. And you can draw your own conclusions on the scale of the job ahead here for Golden 60. It's not really an imposing record. By any form analysis metric, the champion miler would be a clear favourite, even with gate 14. But we won't find out what shape he's in until Sunday. Oh, and on that barrier draw of 14 in the mile, Golden 60 would actually be the first horse to win from barrier 14 in that race if he does it. Now, the records will show that there was a previous winner, a Beauty Flash, from gate 14. However, Beauty Flash actually started from a gate with 12 horses inside him because there was a late scratching at the barriers. So, in my view, he really had gate 13. Anyway, back to the races where we're hoping to find a winner on the undercard. And the first of them is race 2, where our winning factor is the last start winner. Now, this is a Class 4 1200 metres. It's been robbed of a lot of interest for punters with the absence through scratching of Romantic Hero. And that really doesn't leave us with many legitimate runners, in my view. Winning Data is a last start winner over 1400 metres, but I think that there's a standout here in Star Club, who'll be running around in the colours made famous by Wellington. And Star Club was like Wellington, previously with Richard Gibson. He moved during the off-season to David Hall, and he made his first appearance for David Hall about 3 weeks ago, and here's what happened. So this is race 176. Star Club is in gate 3 with yellow, red and blue colours, and he jumps okay here, but isn't fast enough to be with the leaders. And if you watch him during the run, travels well in between horses here. Not a lot goes wrong for him, to be perfectly honest. And he is enjoying the running in the straight. He peels around the heels in front for Brenton Avdulla and goes to the front and wins pretty comprehensively. So that was a good effort first time out for the new yard, and now we go to 1400 metres on Sunday, so let's take a look at how he maps. Now he's drawn a little bit wider this time, Star Club, but I do think that extra 200 metres, the way he found the line in that race, is going to suit him. And I think that he's going to get the run of the race here. Once again, an average run race, neither too fast nor too slow. And I think this lightly raced horse is going to be able to run the extra distance and win again. So the tip in race 2, Star Club. His winning factor, the last start winner. We've focused often on why the last start winner is usually where most punters start to look for their winner of the race coming up. They have a strike rate of around about 1 in 6, and David Hall has been going particularly well with these horses recently. So I think this race lays out beautifully for Star Club to make it 2 in a row. The other race I want to take a look at on Sunday's undercard is race 9, and our winning factor here, the map. Now this is a very good Class 3 featuring some horses I think we're going to hear more of in the future. The market is going to give good chances to the last start winner Galaxy Patch and the horse who chased him home there, the Air. Down at the foot of the weights, Raging Blizzard. There's also a last start winner up in grade, something we often look for, and there will be fans of horses like Sweet Briar and Beauty Waves. But I think this race revolves around 3 horses that ran on the same day last start, albeit in a couple of different races, and that's Galaxy Patch, the Air and Raging Blizzard. First of all, let's have a look at Raging Blizzard, and this was his Class 4 victory returning from a break, and this is race 178. And he's blue with dark striped sleeves from gate 11 and begins well for Zac Purton. Now he doesn't have the speed to be with the leaders, and he could have been caught a bit wide here, but fortunately for him, as they get around the first turn, the leaders go to war mid-race and open some spaces behind them, and Purton is able to get in. I guess it's around about 2.5 wide, a little bit nearer the inside, before he comes out again, straightening up to make his run, and this promising young horse proves too strong over the final stages. An excellent win for a lightly raced horse on the rise. Now a few hours later, over the same course and distance, we saw Galaxy Patch in Class 3. This is race 185. Gate 6 here is the Air in the dark blue and white colours of a past Hong Kong mile winner, the Duke. And barrier 10, blue and yellow colours, Galaxy Patch. And the Air is in no hurry early after a good jump. But Karis Teton on Galaxy Patch looks like he'd like to be a little bit closer, but there are too many under him blocking the way. So he has to come back and he sits outside the Air. But mid-race, we'll see here, Galaxy Patch decides for himself that he wants to go faster, and he pulls his way forward. And Vincent Ho on the Air sees him go by, then latches onto his back. He continues to follow Galaxy Patch, but Galaxy Patch quickens up very well at the top of the straight, launches his bid and goes on to win well, while the Air chases him home into second. Now the Air was never really going to get to Galaxy Patch there, and I still think that he's well in this race because the times and sectionals from that race compared much more than favourably with the earlier Class 4 of Raging Blizzard, several lengths better in both regards. When we take a look at the map, I think that we're going to see a truly run race again, with the newcomer California Touch showing pace at the trials. Beauty Waves has had a very good pace in his 2 races in Hong Kong. Champion Method and Sweet Briar also have speed. As you can see, the draw in 8 offers a few tricks this time for Andrea Atzeni, as he tries to tuck in behind the pace on Raging Blizzard. And the air, well, he had barrier 6 in the replay we saw. He now moves out to 10. Meanwhile, Galaxy Patch has drawn well, in fact much better than last time, and shapes to get a run where I can see him about midfield and tracking up behind the speed, saving ground and saving himself for the finish again. So the tip from me in race 9, Galaxy Patch. His winning factor, the map. Now, it's no pushover this race, trying to win it with a big weight, but I think this is an opportunity for Galaxy Patch to show us where he's going in life. I think he's going somewhere pretty good, and he does have a map advantage over his 2 major rivals. Well, that's it from the winning factor this week. Enjoy the big day Sunday. We'll see you next time.